Stanford quarterback Kevin Hogan threw 3 touchdown passes as the number 5 Cardinal defeated Army 34-20 at Michie Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The Black Knights got out to a 6-0 lead on a pair of first-quarter field goals, one converting off a Stanford turnover on the Cardinals' first drive of the game. But Stanford would reel off 17 consecutive points. Army would cut the deficit to 4 late in the first half on a Larry Dixon touchdown run, though Stanford would then score 17 straight points again to take a 34-13 lead late in the ball game. Army was led by Terry Baggett. Running back ran 9 times for 96 yards. Larry Dixon, who had to leave the game with an injury, scored Army's first touchdown of the game. Edgar Allan Poe caught a 6-yard touchdown pass from A.J. Shore late in the fourth quarter for Army's final points of the game.
We played hard enough. We don't play well enough against an opponent that doesn't give you any margin for error. We competed. We continued to compete. We continued to fight. We continued to play hard. Guys, emotionally, we're in a good place. They when I say that, I mean they were as emotional as I've ever seen them, and yet they used the emotion. They didn't fall off the edge, and that still doesn't excuse some of the mistakes we make along the way. But we'll look at that film and we'll see a way forward. If this team will stay together, and they will, because they're the best in the world, hanging on to one another and believing in one another, and they will. And there'll be a very crystal clear way for us forward as a football team. Still think there's some low-hanging fruit out there, as I said to them, that can make us a better football team. There's some things fundamentally and technically that we can really grow at. And I knew this was going to be an emotional game for them. They knew they were excited to play. They held on to that emotion throughout the contest, and they never let it. The emotion was not our enemy. The emotion never got in our way. We used it. We used it to effect. They love to play. They care about one another. As I say, if we keep those things going for us, there's a way forward. At that point, you're not trying to keep the score close. You're trying to win the game. So, if I second guess myself, I would say you're playing a competent opponent. Do you take that shot downfield on third down? Maybe you just take 2 downs to get the first down. That's the do-over. But we made that decision. We were going to take that shot. We didn't come to be close. We didn't come to get a moral victory. We came to try to win the game. So we're mad and disappointed as can be. My point to them, the takeaway is, guys, if we'll fight like that, if we'll stay together and fight like that, and grow as much as we did and prepare as well as we did, there's a way forward for this football team. There's some wins out there for us. There's a bunch of them.
The victory improved Stanford to 2-0 on the season. The Cardinal, the number 5 team in the nation. The setback drops Army to 1-2 on the 2013 season. Army will next be in action next Saturday, right back here at Michie Stadium against Wake Forest. Game time set for 12 p.m. But once again, Army falls to Stanford by the final score of 34-20. With the Army football team at Michie Stadium, West Point, New York, for Night Vision, I'm Rich DeMarco.